Sampling of metric prefixes that you'll need to use in our class this year. Kilo. Kilo has the abbreviation of K. Centi has the abbreviation of C. Milli, M. Micro is a Greek letter mu, looks like a U with a little tail in front of it, and nano is a lowercase n. The space here in the middle is because this is for your base unit of either meters, liters, or grams. So essentially, if you have one of these, 1 meter, 1 liter, or 1 gram, it will be equal to 100 centimeters, which of course is the same thing as 10 squared. 1 meter is the equivalent to 1,000 milliliters, which is 1,000 is the same thing as 10 to the third. A micro is a millionth. There are 1 million micro units in a whole meter or liter or gram, and of course that's a 10 to the 6th power. Nano is 1 billion, which is 10 to the 9th. I'm running out of room, but this number should be a billion. Now going in the other direction, 1 kilo of something is equivalent to 1,000 of the base units. We'll be using those as we do our conversions. Special note about volume units. You can see here on this cube, each one of these blocks represents a 1 cubic centimeter. So if you line up 10 of these centimeters on each side, this distance right here is 1 decimeter. This is 1 decimeter, and this is 1 decimeter. So 1 cubic decimeter is equivalent to 1 liter. But what's going to be the most useful to you is this information right here. 1 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 milliliter. This will be important, and we will use this a number of times. Okay, converting. This is how you're going to convert. I'm going to teach you how to convert metric values. Converting 2 liters to milliliters. Start with the number you're given. In this case, it's 2 liters. You will set up what is called a conversion fraction. To do that, you will multiply your 2 liters measurement by a fraction. And in this fraction, right now, all I have is the multiplication sign here and the fraction bar here. And we need to decide what numbers go on the top and the bottom. We're trying to get rid of this liters unit. To get rid of it, mathematically, we'll put it in the denominator of our fraction. The unit we're trying to convert to is milliliters, so I'm going to put milliliters in my numerator. Once I figure out where the units have to go, well, that's when I'm going to figure out what numbers go in the numerator and the denominator. And you ask yourself, which of these 2 units is bigger, a liter or a milliliter? Well, hopefully you know that 1 liter is bigger than a milliliter, so you put the 1 next to the bigger unit. Well, then you ask yourself, well, how many milliliters are there in 1 liter? And you should know that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. You'll see that the liters will cancel, and now your math in your calculator is 2 times 1,000, which is 2,000. And the unit that did not cancel is milliliters, so that becomes your final converted answer. Converting 0.080 meters to micrometers. Start with the number you're given, 0.080 meters. Set up a conversion fraction, which means you'll multiply by a fraction bar. You're trying to get rid of your meters unit, so immediately put that unit in the denominator. You're trying to convert to micrometers, And you'll need to train yourself to understand which of these two units is bigger, 1 meter or 1 micrometer. 1 meter is bigger, so we're going to put the 0 next to that unit. And then micro means a million. Whoops. So that's the number that you'll put next to the micrometers. 1 million micrometers is equal to 1 meter. Hopefully you're understanding that the top of this fraction and the bottom of this fraction are equivalents. The numerator is equal to the denominator here, making the value of this fraction 1. So multiplying your original number of 0.8080 times 1, you're not changing the value of the number. All we're doing is we're converting the units. So meters will cancel with meters, and the math becomes 0.080 times 1 million. And so you should get 80,000 micrometers or micrometers, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Maintaining significant figures. Our original measurement had 2 significant figures. So to maintain 2 significant figures in this calculated answer, we would put a bar over that 0. Converting 9.57 times 10 to the negative 8 millimeters to nanometers. Start with the number you're given. 9.57 times 10 to the negative 8 millimeters. Set up a conversion fraction. Put millimeters unit in the denominator because that's what we're trying to cancel. Now this is an interesting scenario because we're converting millimeters to nanometers. We're not going to our base unit. So one way that you can show this is to first convert your millimeters into meters. Then you'll have to set up a second conversion fraction where you get rid of your meters by putting it in the, because this unit here will now cancel with this unit over here. And then we're trying to go to nanometers, so that's what we'll put up in the numerator of the second fraction. So going back to our first fraction, which is bigger, a meter or a millimeter? 1 meter is bigger, so I'm going to put the 1 next to the bigger unit. There are 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter, so that's an equivalent fraction. And if I left the problem here and let my millimeters cancel, I'd be left with a unit of meters. But we're trying to go to nanometers, so hence we need another fraction. Meters will cancel with meters, leaving us with nanometers, but without numbers here, we're not done. 1 meter is bigger than 1 nanometer, so the 1 goes next to the meter. On the top, nano means a billion, so that's 9 zeros, a 1 followed by 9 zeros. So the meters will cancel. Your math becomes 9.57 times 10 to the negative 8. Divide that by 1,000, hit your equal sign, and then multiply that number by 1 billion. You should end up with an answer that is 0.0957 nanometers, which is equivalent to 9.57 times 10 to the negative 2 nanometers. Same answer, just one is in ordinary notation and the other one is in scientific notation. Converting 545 milligrams to kilograms. Start with the number you're given, 545 milligrams. Milligrams will go on the denominator to cancel. We're going to convert it to our base unit of a gram. 1 gram is bigger than 1 milligram. There are 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. If we left the problem here, our answer would be in grams, which we do not want, so we have to do another conversion fraction. Now grams is going to go on the denominator, so it'll cancel with the grams that's up here. And we're going to go to kilograms. In this case, a kilogram is bigger than a gram, so 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. Grams will cancel. Your math in your calculator becomes 545 divided by 1,000 divided by 1,000 again. and you will get 0.000545 kilograms, which is equal to, of course, 5.45 times 10 to the negative fourth. Same values, just different ways of expression. So converting metric units, these are the skills you'll need to do this. You're going to need to memorize the metric prefixes, names, symbols, and values, the ones I gave you in the PowerPoint earlier. You'll then need to set up a conversion fraction. You'll set up the units in the fraction. The units must cancel. The number 1 goes next to the bigger of the 2 units in the fraction. And then you'll multiply across the numerator, and you'll divide by everything that's in the denominator. This is not cross multiplication. You must also maintain significant figures, and your final calculated answer must match the number of significant figures in your original measurement. Couple of things to practice. 7.85. Go ahead and pause the video, try it. You should end up with the number 0.785. And that would be in meters. Number 2, 0.056 liters converted to milliliters. Go ahead and pause the video, give it a shot. Now that you're back, hopefully you have found the answer to be 56 milliliters. Number 3, 0.77 kilograms converted to grams. Pause the video while you practice. Now that you're back, you should find that the number of grams here is 770. Number 4, 0.96 milligrams. Convert that to micrograms. If you're stuck, this is the hint I can give you. This is a 2-fraction conversion. Once you've tried this problem, hopefully you've discovered that the answer is 960 micrograms. 0.0067, when properly converted to nanometers, again, a 2-fraction conversion, works out to be 6,700 nanometers. Ask your teacher for an additional practice worksheet, and hopefully this helped you understand metric conversions and temperature conversions.